The emergency alarms blared throughout Horizon 7 space station. Red lights flashed in every corridor. Sergeant Lisa Hammond rushed to the medical bay, her boots pounding against the metal floor. She had been asleep when the call came through. An unknown ship had drifted into human space, broadcasting a weak distress signal. "What do we know?" Lisa asked as she entered the control room. She was not tall, but she stood straight, her brown hair pulled back in a tight bun. Her uniform bore the patches of a combat medic. Lieutenant Daniel Garcia looked up from the screen. "Not much. Alien vessel, badly damaged. It's Varaxi design." Lisa paused. Everyone knew about the Varaxi. A warrior race with scaled skin and powerful bodies, they controlled 3 star systems beyond human territory. Relations had been tense but stable for years. "Any life signs?" she asked. "One very weak. Command says we check it out, but we're under orders to be careful. The Varaxi aren't exactly our friends." Lisa nodded and grabbed her medical kit. "I'll suit up." 20 minutes later, Lisa floated through the silent corridors of the damaged alien ship. 2 security officers moved ahead of her, weapons ready. The air was thin but breathable. Most systems had failed. The ship's interior glowed with dim emergency lights. "Life sign is stronger now," one of the officers said. "Just ahead." They entered what appeared to be the command center. Bodies lay scattered around the room. Tall, muscular aliens with reptilian features. They had been dead for days. But in the captain's chair, something moved. A Varaxi warrior sat there, still alive but clearly injured. His skin was pale green with blue markings across his face. Once powerful limbs now lay limp. Only his eyes moved, following the humans as they entered. "He's paralyzed," Lisa said, moving closer despite the security officer's warning. She scanned the alien with her medical device. "Severe spinal injury. He can't move anything below his neck." The Varaxi made a sound, a series of clicks and hisses. Lisa activated her translation device. "End me," the words came through. "A warrior without movement is no warrior at all." Lisa ignored the request and continued her scan. "What's your name?" The alien seemed surprised by the question. After a moment of silence, he answered, "I am Kreltak, 3rd Combat Master of the Eastern Fleet. I'm Sergeant Lisa Hammond, Combat Medic. We're going to move you to our station for treatment." The security officers exchanged looks. "Ma'am, we should check with command first," one said. Lisa kept working. "He'll die if we wait. Help me stabilize him for transport." 3 hours later, Kreltak lay in the quarantine section of Horizon 7's medical bay. Dr. Olivia Wright, the station's chief medical officer, reviewed Lisa's initial findings. "The damage is severe," she said. "Their biology is similar to ours, in some ways very different in others. I'm not sure we can help him." Lisa stood by the glass watching Kreltak. His eyes were open, staring at the ceiling. "We have to try." "That's not what command thinks," Dr. Wright said quietly. "They see this as a political opportunity, a high-ranking Varaxi officer in our hands. They want to use him." Lisa frowned. "He's a patient, not a bargaining chip." "Tell that to them." Dr. Wright nodded toward the door. 3 alien merchants stood there, watching. They were from different species. One tall and thin with 4 arms, another short with a large head, and the third covered in fur. All 3 looked at Kreltak with what Lisa could only describe as hatred. "What do they want?" Lisa asked. "To make sure he dies," Dr. Wright said. "The Varaxi have enemies, lots of them. These traitors say the Varaxi raided their home worlds years ago. They're demanding we turn him over to them or just let nature take its course." Lisa walked over to the aliens. "This is a medical facility. We don't turn patients over to be killed." The tall 4-armed alien spoke through a translator. "You don't understand what they are. The Varaxi are monsters. They destroy worlds, kill millions. This one would kill you if he could move." "But he can't move," Lisa said. "And right now he's under my care." Later that evening, Lisa sat alone with Kreltak. The quarantine room was quiet except for the soft beep of monitoring equipment. The alien warrior watched her with yellow eyes. "Why do you help me?" he asked. Through the translator. His voice sounded tired, defeated. "It's my job," Lisa said simply. "I'm a medic. In my culture, a warrior who cannot fight is left behind. It is our way. To survive alone or die trying proves our worth." Lisa checked his vital signs. "Well, you're not with your people now. You're with humans. And we do things differently." "Your leaders came earlier," Kreltak said. "They asked many questions. About our fleet movements, our weapons. They did not ask if I was in pain." Lisa's hands paused. "Are you? In pain?" "Always," he admitted. "But a warrior does not complain." Lisa adjusted something on her medical device. "This should help. It's calibrated for your biology now." Relief showed in Kreltak's eyes as the medication took effect. "Why would you ease my suffering when your people clearly wish to use me?" "Not all humans think alike," Lisa said. "Some see you as a political tool. I see you as someone who needs help." Kreltak was quiet for a long time. Finally he spoke. Again. "I was not on a war mission. My ship carried diplomats. We were ambushed by those who do not want peace." This surprised Lisa. "Diplomats? The Varaxi don't have a reputation for diplomacy." "Things change," Kreltak said. "Not all Varaxi believe in the old ways. Some of us seek new paths." The door opened and Lieutenant Garcia stepped in. "Hammond, a word." Outside the room, Garcia looked troubled. "Command says minimal intervention only. Keep him alive for questioning. That's it. No rehabilitation efforts." "That's not right," Lisa protested. "We can help him." "Orders are orders," Garcia said, but he didn't look happy about it. "And there's more. A Varaxi communication came through. They're not asking for him back. In fact, they denied any knowledge of his mission. According to them, he doesn't exist." Lisa looked through the glass at Kreltak. "So they've abandoned him." "Looks that way," Garcia said. "Just do what you're told, Hammond. Don't get attached." That night after her shift ended, Lisa returned to the quarantine room. Kreltak seemed surprised to see her. "You came back," he said. "I told you I would," Lisa answered. She began checking his condition, making notes. "I'm going to help you, Kreltak. Not because of orders or politics, because it's the right thing to do." For the first time, the alien warrior's expression softened. "In my entire life, no one has ever helped me without expecting something in return." "Then you've never met a human before," Lisa said with a small smile. "Not really." Outside the window of the quarantine room, stars stretched into infinity. Somewhere out there, forces were moving, politics were shifting. But in this small room, something simpler and more powerful was happening. A connection being formed, a promise being made, and Lisa Hammond intended to keep it. Days passed on Horizon 7 space station. Lisa Hammond spent every spare moment in the quarantine room with Kreltak. The Varaxi warrior remained paralyzed from the neck down, but his mind was sharp. Communication was still difficult despite the translation technology. "Your words come through strange," Kreltak said one morning as Lisa checked his vital signs. "Sometimes I understand, sometimes not." Lisa nodded. The translator wasn't made for extended Varaxi conversation. Most humans and Varaxi don't talk much. "We fight instead," Kreltak said. His yellow eyes blinked slowly. "That is what everyone expects of us." The door slid open, and Corporal Ryan Blackwood entered. He was a tall man with broad shoulders and a permanent frown. He carried a tray of medical supplies. "Still babysitting the lizard?" Ryan asked, setting down the tray. Lisa gave him a sharp look. "His name is Kreltak." Ryan shrugged. "Whatever. You know everyone's talking about you, right? They say you're getting too friendly with the enemy." "He's not an enemy. He's a patient," Lisa said firmly. After Ryan left, Kreltak spoke again. "Your friend does not approve of helping me." "He's not my friend," Lisa said. "And his opinion doesn't matter." Later that day, Lisa was called to meet with Lieutenant Garcia and a visitor. She entered the conference room to find a well-dressed man with gray hair and expensive clothes. His smile did not reach his eyes. "Sergeant Hammond, this is Ambassador Kevin Mitchell," Garcia said. "He's here about our guest." Mitchell extended his hand. "Sergeant, I understand you've been providing care for the Varaxi warrior. Admirable dedication." Lisa did not trust his friendly tone. "Just doing my job, sir." "Of course." Mitchell sat down. "I'll be direct. The Varaxi warrior represents a significant political opportunity. The information he possesses could be valuable to Earth government." "He has a name," Lisa said. "Kreltak." Mitchell waved his hand dismissively. Yes. The point is, I need you to focus on keeping him stable for questioning. No need for rehabilitation efforts, just basic care." "He's paralyzed," Lisa said. "Without proper treatment, his condition will worsen." "That's unfortunate, but not our primary concern," Mitchell replied. "Our relationship with the Varaxi Empire is complicated. This situation must be handled carefully." After the meeting, Lisa walked quickly through the station corridors, anger building inside her. She bumped into someone turning a corner. "Whoa, sorry," said a woman with curly black hair and a tool belt. "You look like you're on a mission." Lisa recognized her. "Zara Nelson, right, from engineering?" "That's me," Zara smiled. "Robotics specialist. Something wrong?" Lisa hesitated, then decided to take a risk. "Can I buy you a coffee? I need some technical advice." An hour later, Lisa and Zara sat in the nearly empty station cafeteria. Lisa had explained Kreltak's situation and the orders she'd been given. "So you want to help him against orders?" Zara said thoughtfully. "Risky." "I'm not asking you to break rules," Lisa said quickly. "I just need to understand if something could be built for his condition, theoretically." Zara tapped her fingers on the table. "Theoretically, yes. An exoskeleton designed for Varaxi physiology could help. It wouldn't be easy, but it's possible." "I'd need detailed scans, though." "I can get those," Lisa said. That evening, Lisa returned to Kreltak with renewed purpose. She found him speaking with Dr. Olivia Wright. "Sergeant, good timing," Dr. Wright said. "Our patient has been telling me about Varaxi medicine. Fascinating stuff." Kreltak looked at Lisa. "Your doctor understands little of Varaxi biology." "I try to explain." "He's been very patient with my questions," Dr. Wright said. "I'll leave you two alone now." She gave Lisa a meaningful look as she left. When they were alone, Lisa moved closer to Kreltak's bed. "I need to ask you something important. The truth. Were you really on a diplomatic mission?" Kreltak was silent for a long moment. "Yes. I was escorting delegates to human territory. There are those among my people who believe war with humans would destroy us both. They sent me to protect the diplomats." "What happened to them?" "Dead. All dead." Pain flashed in his eyes. "We were ambushed by warriors loyal to War Commander Viralox. She leads those who want conquest, not peace." "And that's why your government denies knowing you," Lisa realized. "Because you were working with the peace faction." "In Varaxi culture, a warrior who cannot fight is already dead," Kreltak said. "But for one in my position, with knowledge of both factions, to be captured alive is worse. I am an embarrassment they must erase." Lisa began taking detailed scans of Kreltak's body with her medical equipment. "What if you could move again?" Kreltak's eyes widened. "Impossible." "Maybe not," Lisa said. "Humans have developed technology for people with spinal injuries. It might work for you, too." "Why would you do this?" Kreltak asked. "Your leaders want information from me, not my recovery." Lisa continued her scans. "Because where I come from, soldiers don't leave each other behind. Not ever." The next morning, Lisa met Zara in a quiet corner of the engineering section. She handed over the scan data. "This is good," Zara said, examining the files. "I can work with this. But Lisa, if we're caught—" "I know the risk," Lisa said. "But it's the right thing to do." Zara nodded. "Okay. I'll need help, though. Someone who understands Varaxi biology better than I do." "I might know someone," Lisa said, thinking of Dr. Wright. Over the next few days, Lisa established a routine. She would perform her regular duties, spend official time with Kreltak doing basic care as ordered, then meet secretly with Zara and Dr. Wright to work on the exoskeleton design. One evening, as Lisa was leaving Kreltak's room, she found Ambassador Mitchell waiting in the corridor. "Sergeant Hammond," he said coolly, "I understand you've been spending a lot of time with our guest." "Just following orders, sir. Basic care." Mitchell's eyes narrowed. "I received an interesting report today. Requisitions from engineering for materials that could be used in medical mobility devices. Signed by Zara Nelson." Lisa kept her face neutral. "I wouldn't know about that, sir." "I think you do." Mitchell stepped closer. "Let me be clear. The Varaxi are not our friends. This one specimen might provide valuable intelligence, but after that his usefulness ends. Understood?" "Perfectly, sir," Lisa said, meeting his gaze. After Mitchell left, Lisa leaned against the wall, her heart racing. They were running out of time. She returned to Kreltak's room. "They suspect," she told him quietly. Kreltak studied her face. "You should stop. The risk is too great." "No," Lisa said firmly. "Humans don't give up that easily." For the first time since she'd met him, Kreltak smiled. It was an alien expression on his reptilian face, but the meaning was clear. "Then perhaps," he said, "there is much my people could learn from yours." The alarm sounded throughout Horizon 7 space station at exactly 600 hours. Lisa Hammond was in the shower when she heard it. She threw on her uniform and ran to the command center, her hair still wet. Lieutenant Garcia stood before a large screen. His face was tight with worry. "Varaxi warship just entered our sector," he said when he spotted Lisa. "They're demanding the return of their warrior." Lisa felt her heart sink. But they denied knowing him. Apparently, they changed their minds. Garcia pointed to the screen where a large, menacing ship hung against the blackness of space. "That's the Bloodclaw, commanded by War Commander Viralox herself." Lisa recognized the name. Kreltak had mentioned Viralox as the leader of the war faction. "They'll kill him if we hand him over." "That's not our problem," said a new voice. General Samuel Carter had entered the room. He was a tall man with short gray hair and cold eyes. "The Varaxi are threatening military action if we don't comply." "Sir," Lisa began, "Kreltak has information about—" "I know what he has, Sergeant." Carter cut her off. "And we've gotten what we need. Ambassador Mitchell has completed his interrogation. The Varaxi can have what's left." Lisa clenched her fists. "He's not a thing to be used and discarded. He's a person." Carter's eyes narrowed. "He's an alien from a hostile species. And you're dangerously close to insubordination, Sergeant." Lisa left the command center, walking so fast she was nearly running. She found Zara Nelson in the engineering lab, working on what looked like a metal spine connected to a series of hydraulic limbs. "They're going to hand him over," Lisa said without preamble. "How close are we?" Zara looked up from her work. "Not close enough. The prototype might be ready in 2 days, but it needs testing." "We don't have 2 days," Lisa said. "We might not even have 2 hours. I could rush it, but without proper testing it could fail or even hurt him worse." Zara ran, a hand through her curly hair. "We need help." "I might know someone," Lisa said after a moment's thought. Dr. Alan Porter was not an easy man to like. The xenobiologist had a reputation for being difficult and unfriendly. His office was cluttered with specimens and data pads. "You want me? To what?" he asked after Lisa explained her request. "Help complete an exoskeleton for a Varaxi warrior," Lisa repeated. "You're the only one who knows enough about their biology to make it work quickly." Porter laughed, a short, harsh sound. "You're crazy. The Varaxi killed my brother in the border skirmishes 3 years ago. Why would I help one?" "Because you're a scientist," Lisa said. "And this could lead to a peace that might prevent others from losing their brothers." Porter was silent for a long moment. Then he sighed. "Show me what you've got." In the quarantine room, Kreltak sensed something was wrong as soon as Lisa entered. "You are troubled," he said. Lisa sat beside his bed. A Varaxi ship arrived. "The Bloodclaw. They're demanding we hand you over." Kreltak's yellow eyes widened slightly. "Viralox has come herself. I am honored." "Honored? She wants to kill you." "Yes," Kreltak said calmly. "A personal execution by the war commander. It shows I am still considered dangerous even in this state. A warrior's death." Lisa leaned forward. "Listen to me. We're working on something that might help you move again. But we need time." "Time is what we lack," Kreltak said. "I have heard the humans talking. They will give me to Viralox within hours." "Not if I can help it," Lisa said. She found Lieutenant Garcia in the meal hall. He was sitting alone, pushing food around his plate without eating. "I need your help," Lisa said, sitting across from him. Garcia looked up. "Hammond, stay out of this. Carter has made his decision." "Daniel," Lisa said, using his first name. "You know this isn't right. Kreltak was on a peace mission. Viralox is the one who attacked him. If we hand him over, we're helping the very faction that wants war with us." Garcia was silent for a moment. "What are you asking me to do?" "Buy us time. Just a few more hours." After a long pause, Garcia nodded. "I'll see what I can do." Back in the engineering lab, Dr. Porter worked alongside Zara, his fingers moving quickly over the exoskeleton components. "This isn't bad work," he admitted, grudgingly. "But you've miscalculated the nerve connections here and here." He pointed to several spots. Varaxi nervous systems are centralized differently than humans. Zara made the adjustments. "Will it work?" "Maybe," Porter said. "If we're lucky. And if your friend can buy us enough time." In the command center, Lieutenant Garcia stood before General Carter. "Sir, I strongly recommend we delay the handover. Our scans show unusual energy readings from the Varaxi ship. They may be planning something beyond a simple prisoner transfer." Carter frowned. "What kind of readings?" "Possibly weapons charging, sir, or some kind of specialized transport beam. Our analysts need time to be sure." Carter studied Garcia's face. "How much time?" 6 hours minimum, sir." After a moment, Carter nodded. "Very well. Inform the Varaxi we require additional preparation time. But, Lieutenant, if this is a delay tactic—" "Understood, sir," Garcia said, keeping his face carefully neutral. 4 hours later, Lisa, Zara, and Dr. Porter stood looking at the completed exoskeleton. It was a framework of metal and synthetic materials designed to fit over Kreltak's body and connect to his nervous system. "It's not pretty," Porter said, "but it should work, theoretically." "Will it hurt him?" Lisa asked. Porter nodded. "Yes. Connecting to his nervous system will be extremely painful, but if it works, he should have partial mobility." "Let's move it to quarantine," Lisa said. "We don't have much time left." They were wheeling the device toward the medical section when Ambassador Mitchell stepped into their path. "What exactly do you think you're doing, Sergeant Hammond?" Lisa straightened. "Sir, I can explain." "I doubt that," Mitchell said coldly. "This looks very much like the rehabilitation effort I specifically prohibited." He looked at the device. "Is that an exoskeleton?" "Yes, sir," Lisa said. There was no point in lying. "We believe it can help Kreltak regain some mobility, and why would we want to make a potentially dangerous alien warrior mobile again?" Mitchell asked. Dr. Porter spoke up. "Because he's the key to preventing a war." Mitchell raised an eyebrow. "Explain." "Kreltak was part of the peace faction," Porter said. "The Varaxi who want him back are the ones pushing for war with humans. If we hand him over, we're strengthening their position." Mitchell considered this. "Interesting theory, but General Carter has already made his decision." "Sir," Lisa said, "please, just let us try. If it doesn't work, nothing changes. If it does—" An announcement blared over the station's communication system. "All personnel. The Varaxi delegation will board in 30 minutes. Prepare for transfer of the prisoner. Mitchell looked at the announcement speaker, then back at Lisa. His expression softened slightly. You have 30 minutes, Sergeant. Make them count. As Mitchell walked away, Lisa turned to Zara and Porter. Let's move. Now. Lisa Hammond rushed into the quarantine room with Dr. Porter and Zara Nelson. They pushed the exoskeleton on a wheeled cart. Kreltak watched them with his yellow eyes. We have 25 minutes, Lisa said, checking her watch. The Varaxi delegation is boarding soon. Kreltak took in the metal frame they had brought. What is this device? An exoskeleton, Dr. Porter explained. It will connect to your nervous system and may allow you to move again. But I must warn, you connecting it will cause intense pain. Pain is nothing new to a warrior, Kreltak said. Proceed. Lisa helped Porter and Zara lift Kreltak's limp body. They carefully fitted the metal frame around him. It covered his torso and limbs with thin, flexible supports. A series of neural connectors lined his spine. Ready? Porter asked, holding the main activation switch. Kreltak fixed his gaze on Lisa. If this fails, know that your effort honors me. No one has tried to help me since my injury. Lisa nodded. It won't fail. Porter pressed the switch. Kreltak's body went rigid. A harsh sound escaped his throat, something between a hiss and a scream. His eyes squeezed shut as the neural connectors linked with his damaged nervous system. Vital signs spiking, Lisa warned, watching the medical monitor. Expected, Porter said, adjusting settings on a control pad. His body is fighting the connections. Kreltak's breathing came in short, painful gasps. Continue, he managed to say. Zara worked quickly, calibrating the mechanical joints. Neural mapping at 60%. We need to reach at least 80 for basic mobility. The doors to the quarantine room slid open. Lieutenant Garcia entered, his expression grim. Hammond, they're here early. The Varaxi delegation is on the station now. Major Frank Winters is escorting them here. Lisa's heart sank. We need more time. You don't have it, Garcia said. Maybe 5 minutes, no more. Dr. Porter increased power to the neural connectors. This might help, but it will increase his pain. Kreltak made a sound of agreement. His scales had lost color, turning pale, from the stress. The minutes ticked by in tense silence. Kreltak's breathing gradually steadied. Sweat covered Lisa's forehead as she monitored his vital signs. Neural mapping at 78%, Zara announced. Almost there. Try it. Now, Porter said to Kreltak. Attempt to move your right hand. Kreltak focused. At first, nothing happened. Then slowly his fingers twitched. The movement was small but unmistakable. It's working, Lisa breathed. Try the arm, Porter encouraged. With visible effort, Kreltak raised his right arm a few inches off the bed. The exoskeleton hummed quietly as it supported the movement. Remarkable, Porter murmured. The connection is stronger than I expected. Can you sit up? Lisa asked. Kreltak concentrated. The exoskeleton whirred. Slowly, with mechanical assistance, he pushed himself into a sitting position. For the first time in weeks, he was no longer lying flat on his back. I can move, he said, wonder in his voice. The sound of boots approached in the corridor outside. Lieutenant Garcia moved to the door. They're here. The door slid open. Major Frank Winters entered first. He was a broad-shouldered man with a permanent scowl. Behind him came 3 Varaxi warriors in ornate armor. Their scales were darker than Kreltak's, with red markings across their faces. At their center was a female Varaxi, taller than the others, with a scar running down one side of her face. War Commander Viralox, Kreltak said, his voice suddenly formal. The female Varaxi stepped forward. Her eyes widened slightly at the sight of Kreltak sitting up, the exoskeleton attached to his body. She spoke in the clicking Varaxi language. She demands to know what you have done to the prisoner, said a human woman who had entered with them. She wore the insignia of a communications specialist. We've helped him, Lisa said, stepping forward. He was injured and we treated him. Specialist Patricia Diaz translated Lisa's words. Viralox listened, then responded with a series of sharp clicks. The commander says this is an offense against Varaxi tradition, Diaz translated. A warrior who cannot fight should not be artificially preserved. Perhaps your traditions need updating, Dr. Porter said coldly. Before Diaz could translate, Kreltak spoke in his own language. The exchange between him and Viralox grew heated. The other Varaxi warriors shifted uneasily. What are they saying? Lisa asked Diaz. He's telling her about the peace mission, about the ambush. He's accusing her of treason against their high council, Diaz said, her voice low. And she's not happy about it. Viralox stepped closer to Kreltak, her hand moving to a weapon at her side. Lisa moved between them without thinking. You're not touching him. Major Winters grabbed Lisa's arm. Stand down, Sergeant. This is not your concern. It became my concern when he became my patient, Lisa snapped, pulling her arm free. The door opened again. Ambassador Mitchell entered, followed by General Carter and a woman Lisa didn't recognize. She wore the uniform of a starship captain with the name Bennett on her badge. What is going on here? The captain demanded. Captain Grace Bennett, General Carter said. This is War Commander Viralox of the Varaxi Empire. She's here to take custody of the prisoner. Captain Bennett surveyed the scene, Lisa standing protectively in front of Kreltak, the Varaxi delegation looking tense, Mitchell and Winters watching with cold eyes. I see, Bennett said. And does the prisoner wish to go? The question seemed to surprise everyone. Viralox spoke again and Diaz translated. The commander says his wishes are irrelevant. He belongs to the Empire. Actually, Bennett said, according to the Frontier Space Treaty, Section 12, any sentient being who seeks asylum in human territory must have their case considered before extradition. Mitchell frowned. Captain, I don't think this is the time for legal technicalities. I disagree, Bennett said firmly. She approached Kreltak. Do you seek asylum with the human government? Kreltak looked at Lisa, then at Viralox, whose face showed growing anger. With visible effort, he used the exoskeleton to stand up. The movement was shaky but definite. He stood on his own feet, facing Viralox as an equal. I do, he said, in clear English. Viralox snarled something that needed no translation. Her hand went to her weapon again. I wouldn't, Captain Bennett said calmly. Threatening an asylum seeker is an act of war under the treaty. For a tense moment, no one moved. Then Viralox stepped back, speaking again. She says this isn't over, Diaz translated. She says the Varaxi Empire will not recognize this claim of asylum. Noted, Bennett said. But until this matter is resolved through proper diplomatic channels, Kreltak remains under human protection. She turned to Lisa. Sergeant Hammond, I understand you've been responsible for his care. Yes, Captain, Lisa said. Then continue your duties, Bennett said. Consider him your official assignment until further notice. As the Varaxi delegation left, escorted by Major Winters, Kreltak spoke quietly to Lisa. You have made an enemy today, he said. Viralox does not forget or forgive. Lisa watched the war commanders retreating back. Neither do I. 3 days passed on Horizon 7 space station. The Varaxi warship remained in orbit, a constant threat. Inside the station, Kreltak made remarkable progress with the exoskeleton. Each day he could move better than the day before. Lisa Hammond watched as Kreltak walked slowly across the room. His movements were stiff but steady. Dr. Porter and Zara Nelson stood nearby, monitoring the exoskeleton's performance. The neural connections are holding well, Porter said. Better than I expected, honestly. Zara nodded. And his body is adapting to the system. The pain is decreasing, right? Yes, Kreltak confirmed. It is now manageable. Lisa smiled. Soon you'll be running laps around the station. First, I must learn to run from danger, Kreltak said. War Commander Viralox has not given up. She merely waits for the right moment. Lisa's reply was interrupted by the station's communication system. Sergeant Hammond to the command center. Immediately. In the command center, Lisa found Captain Bennett, Lieutenant Garcia, and a stern-looking woman she hadn't met before. The woman wore an admiral's uniform. "Sergeant Hammond, this is Admiral Carol Hudson," Captain Bennett said. "She's here to resolve our situation with the Varaxi." Admiral Hudson nodded briefly to Lisa. "I understand you've been caring for the Varaxi warrior seeking asylum." "Yes, Admiral," Lisa said. "His name is Kreltak." "So I've been told." Hudson's face revealed nothing. "I've also been told you created rehabilitation technology for him against direct orders. Is that correct?" Lisa straightened her shoulders. "It is, Admiral. I believed it was the right thing to do." Hudson was silent for a moment. "The Varaxi Empire has lodged a formal protest. They're demanding the return of their subject. War Commander, Viralox has threatened military action if we refuse." "Kreltak has vital information about divisions within the Varaxi government," Lisa said quickly. "He was part of a peace mission that was ambushed by Viralox's forces. She wants him silenced." "I'm aware of the situation," Hudson said. "What you might not be aware of is that 3 more Varaxi warships have entered this sector. They're headed this way." Lisa felt her heart sink. "They're really willing to start a war over one warrior?" "It's not about one warrior anymore," Hudson said. "It's about Varaxi honor and tradition, and about sending a message to other Varaxi who might consider working with humans." The door opened, and a man with a camera drone hovering beside him entered. "Excuse me, Admiral. I'm Jay Patel, station correspondent. I've been authorized to document this historic first asylum case." Hudson frowned but nodded. "Just stay out of the way." Patel smiled. "Of course, the public is fascinated by this story. A human medic helping a paralyzed alien warrior walk again. It's capturing hearts across Earth." Lisa was surprised. "People know about this?" "Your story went viral yesterday," Patel said. "The footage of you standing between Kreltak and the war commander has been viewed millions of times." Admiral Hudson cleared her throat. "The public relations aspect is complicating matters, but our primary concern remains avoiding a war." "Admiral," Lisa said, "may I suggest something?" Hudson raised an eyebrow. "Go ahead, Sergeant. Let Kreltak speak directly to the Varaxi people. If what he says is true, there are many who want peace, not war. They just need someone to give them courage." Hudson considered this. An interesting proposal. But how would we broadcast his message past Varaxi military channels? "I might have a solution," Lieutenant Garcia said. "We've identified several Varaxi frequencies used by civilian ships. If we boost our signal strength, we could reach a significant portion of their population." "It's worth trying," Captain Bennett added. "If we're facing war anyway, we have little to lose." Admiral Hudson nodded slowly. "Arrange it, but we'll need a backup plan if this fails." 2 hours later, Lisa stood in the station's main communication center. Kreltak was beside her, standing tall in his exoskeleton. His scales had regained their healthy green color. Around them were Admiral Hudson, Captain Bennett, Jay Patel with his camera drone, and several station officers. "We're ready to broadcast," Lieutenant Garcia said. "The Varaxi ships are demanding we stop, but we're cutting through their jamming attempts." "Good," Hudson said. "Let's proceed." Kreltak stepped forward. The camera drone focused on him. He began speaking in the Varaxi language, his voice strong and clear. Lisa couldn't understand his words, but she could see the passion behind them. As he spoke, the door opened. A group of Varaxi civilians entered, led by an elderly Varaxi with elaborate scale patterns. They had been passengers on a trading vessel, docked at the station. "Senior Council Member Trelvor," Kreltak said in English, clearly surprised. The elderly Varaxi approached Kreltak. He examined the exoskeleton with interest, then spoke in their language. He asked if you can truly move on your own, translated Specialist Diaz, who had joined them. In answer, Kreltak walked a full circle around the room, then bowed to Trelvor. The elder Varaxi made a sound that might have been approval. "Council, Member Trelvor says he received your message," Diaz translated as the elder spoke again. "He says others have as well. The peace faction has been gathering strength. Your survival and recovery has become a symbol to them." Admiral Hudson stepped forward. Council member, we face the threat of war over this asylum case. Can you help us find a peaceful solution? After Diaz translated, Trelevor responded at length. He says Viralox has exceeded her authority, Diaz said. The full council never authorized military action. He has contacted other council members. They are ordering Viralox to stand down. As if on cue, Lieutenant Garcia reported, Admiral, the Varaxi warships are changing formation. They appear to be retreating. A cheer went up around the room. Lisa felt a wave of relief wash over her. Kreltak turned to her. It seems your help has done more than allow one warrior to walk again. It may have prevented a war. That was all you, Lisa said. I just helped with the first step. Trelevor approached them both. He spoke again, making formal gestures toward Kreltak and Lisa. He says the council wishes to establish formal diplomatic relations with humans, Diaz translated. And they request that Kreltak serve as the first Varaxi ambassador, with you, Sergeant Hammond, as his human liaison. Lisa looked at Kreltak in surprise. Me? I'm just a combat medic. You are more than that, Kreltak said. You are the one who saw value in helping when all others saw only problems. The one who gave strength back to the fallen. Both our peoples could learn from such wisdom. Admiral Hudson nodded. I think that can be arranged, Sergeant. Consider it a new assignment. 1 month later, Lisa stood beside Kreltak on the observation deck of the Earth orbital station. Below them, the blue planet turned slowly. Kreltak's exoskeleton had been refined into something more elegant and comfortable. He moved with increasing confidence each day. What do you think of your new home? Lisa asked. It is very blue, Kreltak said, and its people are strange. They help those who cannot help themselves. They give strength to the weak. They see value and compassion. He turned to face her. These are not Varaxi ways, but perhaps they should be. Cultural exchange goes both ways, Lisa said. We have things to learn from you too. Yes, Kreltak agreed. That is why this alliance may succeed where others have failed. Because it began not with treaties or threats, but with one simple act of help. They stood in comfortable silence, watching Earth turn beneath them, two people from different worlds connected by the universal language of compassion.